Hey there, it's that time again. It's Melissa Benaroya with Childproof Parenting, and today I wanted to share with you something that's a little bit challenging, that's a little bit difficult, and that's what do we do and say when there's a family crisis, like a parent having a serious illness or maybe a loss in the family. I get a lot of parents turning to me and asking, what do I do? How do I approach this? What do I say? How much do I share? So I thought I would share with you. And now this topic really became kind of at the forefront of my mind several years ago when I had children at a small school, and it ended up 3 moms in the same grade, and obviously their parents in the same grade. So I think it was all the 3rd grade had breast cancer diagnosis all in 1 year. And I felt like, wow, this is a lot. This wasn't part of my childhood, parents around me having cancer and dealing with all of these challenges. And now I've had tons of friends with cancer and serious illnesses and lots of losses. And I've had losses myself. And then you lose track of what do you do when you have children? What do you say? How much do you reveal? So I wanted to give you kind of a few ideas, a few starting points on what to cover, how to approach it when something serious happens in your family. If it's a crisis, an illness, a loss, all of this is valid. Now, I'm pulling it up here. I wrote a blog piece, so if you want more information, you can find it on the Childproof Parenting blog. It's when a parent is diagnosed with an illness, so I kind of generalized it around a parent's illness. But I have a few tips that I wanted to share. And the first one is try as hard as possible to find and keep routines and schedules. And it might not be you doing it, but maybe sitting down and writing out your child or children's daily schedule, what happens on a week, and maybe even thinking about the year, just depending on where the challenges are. I think having that as not only a resource to you, but those around you that are going to support you or your family is going to be really helpful. And not just like where people have to be and what everybody needs, but also some of those rituals like Friday night dinners or movie night, or trying to add some normalcy into your child's life during these stressful times. So thinking about routine and schedules and writing everything out so that way there can be some consistency when it's not you or not a close family member that's kind of following through on your child's life schedule routine. The second thing, and this tends to be the hardest, and it gets a little bit easier when families are in crisis, but asking for help. People want to help when your family is in crisis. They want to be there for you to lean on them, to help support you. It is a gift to be able to help support somebody in need. So please don't feel like you are taking or asking of others, because you're really giving them a gift to be allowing them to help and support you. And I know that kind of goes against our culture. We're very focused on being independent and self-sufficient, but it's really important that we kind of let go of some of that stuff and we allow others in our life to be there to hold us up, whether it's driving kids to school or making meals or making doctor's appointments or going with you to doctor's appointments. Please allow those people in your life to be there with you, to do for you, to take over when you just can't do it all. So second thing, and giving yourself permission to accept that help is really key. The third is, and this is also a difficult one, is discussing this challenge, this crisis with your child. And it's important that we're honest, that we have honest and open communication with our kids, that we share with them the facts. We don't want to lie or sugarcoat anything. We need to be very factual when we talk with them. And you may want to slowly introduce. So maybe your partner has been diagnosed with a serious illness and they're going to need a surgery. You might start by saying, you know what, Dad's going to go in for an important surgery in the next week or 2. And then we're going to find out more about what's going on. So not necessarily like dumping the diagnosis and all the treatments and all of the options. You do not need to do that. You have to give them all of the information. We just need to be honest about what's happening and maybe introduce it slowly, step by step. And in doing so, you'll also probably want to think about the timing of when you start sharing this. So thinking about when your child is in a good place to receive it, when they're probably fed and not tired, because that can usually fuel big emotions. So being thoughtful about when they're able to connect with you, where they feel safe. And for some kids, it's bedtime. Sometimes it's first thing in the morning. Sometimes with older kids, it's when you're engaged in activity or maybe you're in the car. So thinking about when a good time or place to have that conversation is really important. That can make all of the difference. And then lastly, in thinking about presenting this challenge to your child, is sharing your own emotions about how you feel with this. It doesn't mean you have to break down in front of them, but you can be honest about how it makes you feel. It makes me really scared knowing that Dad's going in for surgery, but I have full confidence that he has really great doctors that are there to take care of him. So validating your child's emotions by sharing your own can be really helpful as well. This is never an easy time. There is no right or wrong way to approach these moments in our lives, but it is helpful to be thoughtful and having that consistency, accepting help, and being honest with our kids about what's going on in their life, because it's much better that they hear this from you than they overhear a conversation or they hear somebody else talking about it at school, because you may have shared this information with friends and there are children here. You don't want your child to hear about your partner's health from another child at school. So being really thoughtful and intentional about how you have these conversations are key. This is a hard topic. This is a heavy topic, and we can definitely continue the dialogue. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to chat. But I wanted to just give you a few things, because if you haven't experienced or encountered something like this yourself, you probably will, or you know somebody that is. So if you want, take these tips and ideas with you. I actually, of course, I have a downloadable to go with this, so you can have kind of a little bit of a cheat sheet for yourself or maybe even a friend. So it would be a great gift to share this with a friend that is in crisis, that is having challenges in their family, where there is a serious illness or a loss. So just wanted to start you off there, present it, and let you know that the blog post is up. You're welcome to check it out. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. All right, everybody, have a fabulous weekend, and I will see you next Friday on our Childproof Parenting Live. Bye for now.